Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Beaumont, the 72nd club founded in the world where our members serve to change lives. Those of you on Zoom, go ahead and make sure you have yourself muted. And everybody, whether on Zoom or here, go ahead and mark yourselves as at Rotary on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you use. I have a hot off the press update on President Brad Brown because I texted him this morning and I said, any special message for the club? And so he sent me a little message that I want to share with you. And it says, recuperating at home and getting stronger every day. I'm thanking God for a successful surgery and the men and women who chose a profession of healing and caring as their ministry. Isn't that just like Brad? Okay, so joining us at the head table today, invocation will be led by Terry Potter, Executive Assistant to the President at Market Basket Corporation. Pledges will be led by John Quigley, Partner, Wells, Payton, Greenberg, and Hunt. And introduction of guests will be tackled by Shanna Quinn, Financial Advisor, Edward Jones. Terry?
Please join me in prayer. Gracious God, as we gather as Rotarians and friends, we acknowledge that wherever we go, we are always in your presence. We pray that our actions may reflect this awareness as we seek your nearness and as we count our many blessings in the weeks and in the months ahead. Clothe our lives with charity. Deepen our lives with loyalty. Hallow our lives with integrity. Help us to live our lives so that we may enhance the future of those whose lives we touch. May your radiant spirit guide us. Amen.
Please join me in the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And the pledge to our Texas flag. Pledge. Pledge of me. One state under God, one and indivisible.
We'd like to welcome our guests today. Please stand when I say your name. We have Thomas Smith and Sally Broussard, our guests of Mary Poole. Ayla Abbott is a guest of Randy Shelton. Dina Reed is a guest of Amanda Ellis. Jennifer Trinbeth is a guest of Wes Shipley. And Dante Miller is a guest of Alan Higgins. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. We have a wonderful little presentation. We're going to give some blue badges out today. So I'd ask John Lee to please come up and take care of that portion of the event.
Good afternoon. Well, it's been a long time for a few of these people. Something happened last year and 2 years, however long it's been now, to kind of delay things. But we have 3 people that we would like to recognize for graduating and going from the red badge to their blue badge. And again, some of these probably met these requirements months ago. First, Miss Deborah Maxwell. And if you could. I know. See how dedicated, still out there messing with the badges. Some of the things that Deborah has done to earn that blue badge has been a greeter in the lunch line. And if you remember, this was back when we were at Broussard's. Deborah was always the greeter in the lunch line. She's been at the head table a few times, helped with the flag project, has delivered beds for Sleep in Heavenly Peace, did the bell ringing for the Salvation Army last year, and it also had perfect attendance in the last Rotary year. So thank you, Deborah. Next is Terry Potter. who is obviously still very involved. Terry has helped several times with the Sleep in Heavenly Peace project. She helped with the literacy project for Martin. She has delivered flags multiple times, helped at the food bank, and obviously has taken her place at the head table to help earn her blue badge. Thank you, Terry. And not to be outdone, Miss Shanna Quinn, who is also up front. To earn her blue badge, Shanna has also been at the head table. This is not her first time. She's enjoyed fellowship after hours with Rotary, worked at Sleep in Heavenly Peace, brought her teenage daughter, which it was hard to believe that she had a teenage daughter, worked with the Literary Project for Martin, and has been involved in many other things in the club. So again, congratulations to Deborah, Terry, and Shanna.
I love that music. That was nice. Okay, so we're going to move on to committee announcements now. And to tell us about the latest with the Salvation Army kettlebell, we have Jacques Gagné. He will be followed by Lynn Castle with news on the holiday party and Sherry Pierce with updates on Wind Down with Rotary.
All right. Well, we have the Salvation Army Red Kettle Bell ringing coming up on Saturday, December 11th. It's going to be from 10 to 5, and there'll be 1-hour shifts. And we need some help in a few crucial spots. We're good 10 to 11, 11 to noon, we're good. The noon to 1 p.m., we need 4 volunteers. So, and we're good 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, we need 3 volunteers, and 4 to 5, we need 2 volunteers. So if y'all can either, my number's listed on the link that Jackie has out, and feel free to text me, call me, or just sign up on the link and help fill these spots. And I'll be there off and on all day anyway. So, you know, maybe just on the 2 spots, I'll change that from noon to 1. Let's just do 3 volunteers. I'll go ahead and be on there too. And then let's try to get 2 volunteers from 3 to 4. I'll jump in that spot. And then from 4 to 5, let's try to get just 1 volunteer. Sorry about those changes. And I'll be there from 4 to 5. So look forward to it. I heard it's a lot of fun. So sign up if you can. Thank you. Sign up if you can. Thank you.
Ho, 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 and a bottle of rum. It's coming. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner on December the 16th, the Christmas party at the Art Museum of Southeast Texas. We're going to have an ugly sweater contest. This one doesn't qualify. I'm sorry, but I'm working on my ugly sweater. I hope y'all are too. Tickets are $45 a person. We're going to have a full bar. We'll have wine and beer and top drawer liquor, but we also have a special treat for you. We're going to have a Grinch eggnog. It's going to be so much fun. And the best thing is we have the great reveal of the new president nominees. So it's not something to be missed. This will take place at the regular meeting. So don't come here on Wednesday. Come to the Art Museum on Thursday at 6 o'clock. We'll have golf cart that can transport you if you park across the street. So sign up now. The deadline is December the 9th, and make your choice of smoked salmon prepared by Seafood Lover or chicken brine. So you have a choice of those 2 menu options. And those of you that are on the committee, tomorrow in my office at noon. Thank you.
Did y'all know we're going to have a wind down party, a wind down fundraiser, actually? And I know y'all will be so glad it's over, so you won't have to listen to me every time. But I'm going to remind you, January 27th, here's what you need to do. You need to collect anything for a basket, a raffle basket, and get it to D. anything, and gift cards and scratch offs, any denomination or any little gifts you have. You need to collect wine for the wine pool. Kevin Reed is handling that. You need to give it to him. And we're using empty bottles. Y'all know, see these little handy things? Remember, you get them at HEB. Take one of those and buy you 6 bottles of wine, and then put this over in the corner somewhere. And as you finish a bottle of wine, rinse it out real good, put it back in there, and get it to Tish Cornell. I don't know if she's even there. She is right there, and she is the one that's going to do the decorating, and she's going to use wine bottles. Imagine that. There is a short, very, very short committee meeting after this, so you should have gotten an email, but if somehow I missed you, look for us back there at one of those tables, and maybe you can find out exactly what you can do for it, and we just get an update. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jacques and Lynn and Sherry. At this time, I'm going to ask Dana Timaeus, managing partner with the Timaeus Law Firm, to introduce our guest speaker for us.
Kind of wonder about Brad too. Everybody thinks he's at home, but those of us that know him know he's off cutting voice tracks for the next Motel 6 commercial. So Tommy Smith has always been a good guy in the world of good guys and bad guys. He was a scout observer in the Marine Corps, honorably discharged there, one of these put his faith in action type guys. He went to the Orange County Sheriff's Department after the Marine Corps, was there for 25 years and 2 months, retired from there as a captain in their criminal investigations group, and came to Jefferson County and associated himself with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department in February of 2014. In a new effort at the times, they were creating positions and ideas and systems, working with Spindletop Mental Health Facility. They were looped in Chambers County at the time. They were an early joiner. And the idea was to create mental health deputies, something new and different. Long before there was an idea of racial problems and policing, these guys were working on just strictly mental health and drug addiction and showing up at scenes of events, however they may be, and trying to take care of the situation there. Their task was, and their mantra and their mission was to assist, to stabilize, and to prevent crime, property damage, injury, and death to individuals, whoever they may be. That was, to give some context to that, that was February 2014. Trayvon Martin was sometime before 2013. George Zimmerman was acquitted in 2013. The next event that was significant, that got policing and community together and as a topic, was Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. Darren Wilson shot him in Ferguson, Missouri in August of 2014, some months after. Tamir Rice was Cleveland, November 2014. Philando Castile and Alton Sterling. St. Paul, Baton Rouge, that was July of 2016. And so by then, these guys have been working for 2.5 years. By the time we got to George Floyd, that was May the 25th of 2020. This group had been together for 6+ years. And when other cities were talking about removing police and substituting social workers, civilians, other first responders, our group was here with police and social workers and counselors and negotiators and a mental health facility and judges involved, the court system and diversion programs all working together. Pretty cool, way ahead of the curve, and it works. And so to tell you more about how it works and what's going on now, I give you one of the leaders of the group, Tommy Smith.
Thank you very much, Dana. I think you took my whole program there. Today I'm here. I'm blessed. Thank you for letting me come in and speak with you. I'm very proud to talk about our program and the people involved in bringing this program to us. We were one of the first programs in the state of Texas that we took a look not at a CIT responding to crisis, but a proactive approach. Everybody says, how in the world did y'all come up with that idea? It's not really rocket scientists. We took basic old community policing and put it into mental health. And so today I want to talk to you a little bit about our program. It's called the ASAP program. In this ASAP program, it's a collaborative effort that we put together. As you can see here, this is who we are. The ASAP stands for Assist, Stabilize, and Prevention. The team is a collaborative effort between behavioral health professionals and local law enforcement agencies with a specific emphasis on working with individuals with mental health issues. We involved in this program, we started out in Jefferson County. Spindletop and Jefferson County went into a collaboration. Now it has grown, and we have Orange County, Jefferson County, Hardin County, Chambers County, Beaumont PD, and Port Arthur PD who collaborate with us in this program. And the little things I want to talk about is, why did we need this, okay? The judicial system has become the first responders of mental health, okay? Approximately 20% of state prisoners and 21% of county prisoners have a recent history of mental health issues. We have been working within the jails. Spindletop covers 3 jails. Jefferson County has Core Health. We work very well together. We know that that statistic is somewhere around 36% through that. Now, like Regina will tell you on the juvenile side, the juvenile justice side of that, when they evaluate everybody that comes in, it's around 70% of the people have a mental health issue at the time of their incarceration. Persons with mental illness are frequently arrested for minor charges. What a lot of people don't know is that you have these people with mental health issues that are arrested for small, like Class B misdemeanor charges, Class C misdemeanor charges. They go to jail. If they go to jail and they're found incompetent to stand trial, they become in a waiting list, okay? We have people now currently in Jefferson County, Orange County, Chambers County, and Hardin County who have committed a Class B misdemeanor, been placed on the competency restoration program, and they've been sitting in jail not convicted of any crime for over a year, year and a half, waiting for psychiatric treatment. So if they would have been found guilty of the crime that they committed, they would have done less than half of the time that they've already been there. The clearinghouse report is what we do each month on people awaiting competency restoration. When I first got into this, the average number was about 8 per month. Now it's about 34 per month. The state hospital this time is on diversion and is not taking anybody. The list, the last time I looked, was at 1,900 people being held in a criminal jail in the state of Texas without being convicted of a criminal offense, awaiting for a bed so that they can be transferred to a psychiatric hospital. 1,900. Now, Harris County alone houses and treats more psychiatric patients than all state psychiatric hospitals combined. That one county in the state of Texas. Now, another bit of information is out of 254 counties in the state of Texas, only there's 181 counties that do not have a psychiatrist. 181. So 1 out of 3 people that are being picked up on in a crisis right now is being transported to the hospital by law enforcement. 1 out of 3. It's 87% more law enforcement resources are used for calls for services. A mentally ill inmate costs more than other inmates inside the jail. I'm got the slide here, but I'm going to just go off key here. Dante is here from Jefferson County. I really appreciate him. And I'm going to tell you, on average, it costs about $64 a night to hold a person in jail. On average, if you have a psychiatric issue, it costs the county about $158 a day. So you remember, I'm talking a year and a half, these people sitting in jail waiting on a psychiatric bed at $158 a day. So what happens when they get to the state? Does the state just pick everything up? It's another $413 a day while they're at the state hospital. And then they rotate it back to the county that they were arrested in to at that time be placed on the court docket. So they may end up spending years just waiting to be found guilty or not guilty. When law enforcement responds to mental health crisis, they use multiple calls, okay? So people think, well, 87% of their resources, what does that mean to me? Let's take, say Jefferson County. Dante, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. On a regular patrol shift, how many patrol deputies do you have? About 7, okay? So if he dispatches to a mental health crisis, it's a minimum of 2 to respond, usually 2 and a supervisor. So that's 3 officers down. So what does that truly mean? That means you have 4 deputies to cover a whole county of over 250,000 people. So when you're looking at the resources, you look at what are they taking away? Because those 3 people can't cover our streets and can't fight crime when they're dealing with criminal incidents. Now, the thing about what I'm talking to you about is most of the people that are in there in the jails that are on psychiatric holds usually are in a psychotic stage. So what they have to do is they have to be placed in isolation cells. And let me tell you, this is a good looking isolation cell that we took a picture of, okay? They're usually a lot more enclosed and not very, very welcoming. The burden of law enforcement has only increased in the recent years, and sharp cuts in mental health budgets have resulted in people not having access to necessary mental health services. The availability of mental health care in the U.S. remains woefully inadequate to handle the current demand, never mind the influx of new patients that we're seeing right now. This in itself has increased the strain of relationships between law enforcement and the community. So, how can we do more with less? It's simple. Partnership and collaboration. That's the way we do it. Okay, because the one thing that we're going to have to remember is this, that This mental health crisis is not a crisis for law enforcement. It's not a crisis for mental health. It's not a crisis for the judicial system. It's not a crisis for the community. It's all of our crises. And until we come together and we work together, we're not going to overcome that. Now, I am glad and I'm very proud to stand up here and say that our community has come together and we have worked together to do this. The ASAP was designed to implement and implemented in 2014 to be a collective effort between the law enforcement, mental health professionals to identify, engage, and provide services to individuals who have been diagnosed with serious and persistent mental health and who have had frequent encounters with law enforcement and the judicial system. So that's what we designed for. And if y'all will please indulge me just a minute. Sally, could you stand up just a minute? Dante, could you stand up? Regina, could you stand up? Regina, Judge Shelton and Ayla. These people right here you're looking at is the reason this program has succeeded. They have hit the ground running and they've collaborated together, and we meet together often to work as a community to overcome the issues that the rest of the world are coming. Thank y'all very much. The goal for ASAP project is to avert outcomes such as potential avoidable inpatient admissions in the settings including general, acute, and psychiatric hospitals, state behavioral health facilities, and divert disruptions and deliberate events such as criminal justice systems involved in the promoting and wellness of adhere to the behavior of the health treatment and promote recovery and community. We judge how we've done this on statistical data that we have received. And one of the other ways that we've done it is we've tracked the cost savings to our local community. A lot of y'all in here understand that the Sandra Bland Act, it rolled down a lot of mandates. The state likes to say they're funded mandates, but they are unfunded mandates. When they say funded, what they're talking about, there is grants that you could apply for, the 292 rural and the 292 urban, but this is the thing, they're all match grants. So it's not that they gave you money to do that, they just increased the money that you had to do it and mandated that it was done. Now the big pushback is trying to keep these people that are being held in jail out of the state hospitals and into the local jails and get jail competency restoration. Now, with this, we've kept our measurements and all, and I want to go through some of the things that we've been able to do in this program. One of our first category measures was decrease the mental health admissions and readmissions to the criminal justice settings such as jails or prisons. Since we started this in 2014, we have been able to do 5,175 jail diversions in our area. That's keeping 5,175 people who did not need to go to jail but get psychiatric help. So thank you. This is our team. As you can see, I broke down the cost amount of what we saved, and it's an average of $799. And I'm telling you, this is only if y'all keep them in jail for 3 days. All right, we know that it's longer, but on 3 days, it costs about $799 if they would have been arrested on a misdemeanor charge to the county. So we saved $4,031 and $325. The great thing about it is we've been able to keep data on the people that we've done jail diversions on, and only 6% of that population was re-incarcerated after that, our initial contact. Sorry, I had that. Can I go to the next slide, please? All right, that's one we just talked about. The next slide. My clicker kind of messing up with me. Okay, category 2 measure, decrease the number of interventions law enforcement officers spend providing interventions with consumers in behavioral health crisis. So this right here is when an officer was dispatched, one of the patrol officers was dispatched to increase or to handle a crisis. Instead of them going through the local law enforcement using their patrol officers, they contacted us at Spindletop and we dispatched our mental health units. We were able to do since 2014, 5,716 of these calls. Cost per the county for each one of these calls is about $210 an hour. On an estimated savings of about $1,200,360. That was just assisting patrol. And if I used the real numbers, no one would believe what I had to say. It's $43,045,706 that we've been able to save our community. So it comes back to, how did we make all these millions of dollars of savings? How did we keep these people out of jail? How did we get these people into services they need? I'm sorry, can you go back one, please? All right, next. I'm trying to look for the one with the triangle on it. I'll go ahead and say it. How did we do it? We come together as a community, okay? Law enforcement, mental health, and hospitals come together. We work together. We worked as a team. We put all of our pride to the side, and we knew what we were going through. There's right now an overwhelming shortage of law enforcement, but still the agencies train their officers and they're getting them out because they believe in it. Jefferson County was the first one there. Sally Broussard was instrument in getting this started. And I remember when we first went to the meeting on this, Judge Brannick, when we brought it to him, he said, I'll take all that you can give me. And we did. We've been able to save the 4-county catchment area over our existence about $48 million, a little over $48 million is what we've been able to save the taxpayers in our catchment. Now, the funny thing about this is when we started this program, Sally was at Spindletop at the time, and her and I had talked about starting this program many years before, and then we got the opportunity to do it. But when they first sent down the requirements to do this, they told me, they said, you're going to have to identify and engage 100 people who had a severe mental health issue and negative contact with law enforcement within a year. And the next year, they required us to do 150. I went to Sally and said, Sally, I know this is a good program, but how am I going to find 100 people in Jefferson County that fits this, this bill? She said, don't worry. Don't worry. When I first started into this business, when I retired out of Orange County and come over here to start it, I tried to explain to people what this program was going to be, and they didn't know, and I didn't know how to explain it because it was new. So I just told them, I said, well, I'm going to build an ark. Today, I reflect back and I wished I wouldn't have said that, because the good Lord gave me the flood to go along with the ark. And as of today, we have engaged 10,484 clients within our 4-county catchment. and it provided assistance. Thank you, thank the community, and thank those that helped this program get started and keep running. Thank you. Any questions? I open it for questions. For questions.
Tell us about you talked about the economic impact, talk about the personal impact.
Oh,
And I've been lucky. Some guy calls in, there's a policeman over the line, says, this guy's screaming for Officer Tommy. I want Officer Tommy.
yes, that's one of the byproducts. Everybody knows Officer Tommy.
Tell the story.
So one thing I'm going to answer that, but one of the things that I forgot to add is since we started this program, it didn't just stay as a rapid response team. People like Judge Shelton seen that it needed to be in the courts. They started a juvenile mental health court. We've been implemented into the county courts here in Jefferson County. We've been working with the judicial system. But yes, there's a lot of funny stories that I can tell that's happened to me. One of them was the one that he was talking about was there was a lady that went into a bank to get her $1 million that she knew that she had in the bank. They wouldn't give it to her. And so she took her cane and started beating them back, and police showed up. And when they got there, they called me and they said, all we know, she's in a corner with a cane and she's screaming, call Officer Tommy. So I responded to that. But on another hand, when we first started, Beaumont PD called us out to a home. There was a young lady that had been arrested multiple times, nothing above a Class B misdemeanor. Most of the time it was public intoxication and disorderly conduct. They said that they believed that there must have been something wrong with her, that mentally, and they would like for us to come out and talk to her. Our team did go out there, visit with them, got her into treatment. We learned after we worked with her, she had been arrested 104 times. That was one of the first ones we worked with. She has not been arrested in the last 6 years. So the program does work. Any other questions? Well, thank you. I'm very honored, but I could not do it without the team and the community that stands behind me and pushes forward. I will say a little bit, if I have a little time left, about what you said. 60% of the people diagnosed with a psychiatric issue does not receive psychiatric treatment within the first year of their diagnosis. One, and what I like on what I'll go on what she said, 1 in 5 people in the United States is going to suffer from a psychiatric incident, okay, a psychiatric illness. And if I sit right here and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I looked at Dana, okay, we all get a really good kick out of it and always laughs when I bring that up. Yeah. But also 1 in 5 people in the United States are diagnosed with cancer, which is not quite as funny, is it? So that's one of the things where we have to fight the stigma. We've come a long way over the years, but you know, you call a survivor of cancer a survivor, blessed, lucky, and you can come up with all kinds of good names for people with a psychiatric issue. So that's one of the things that we do need to do, thank you, is work on that stigma. Yes? Yes, yes, sir. There's a whole thing about that. What it is an officer has the right to do a civil commitment. It's called an emergency detention. And if the person believes that they're immediately in danger or to committing serious bodily harm to themselves or others, then an officer then can transport the person to the nearest appropriate hospital in our catchment area, that is Baptist, St. Elizabeth, or the medical center. Once there, they provide a psychiatric emergency detention order to the hospital. The hospital then has 12 hours to do a psychiatric evaluation on that person, and then 48 hours after that time to do order requesting an order of protective custody. And if there is an order of protective custody in place, then they can be held involuntarily in a psychiatric unit. Hope that answers your question. That's a very short brief of like a whole book of the health and safety code. Our team's involved before, during, and after. If we can get to them before, and I'm picking on Dante today, I'm sorry, Dante. Dante can tell you, as most officers, the first time you go out on someone they're not in crisis, it's usually the family calling and saying, hey, they're not taking their medication, hey, they're acting funny, or whatever. At that point in time, like in Jefferson County, their patrol officers do a referral to us, and we'll go out and actually make contact with them and try to keep them from going into crisis. But if they do go into crisis, then our team will then take the person and bring them to the hospital on the emergency detention order. But the thing about it is when we make contact with them, if it is at the point that we have to do an emergency detention order, we don't wash our hands with them. When they get out of the hospital, we do a follow-up with them. And we follow up on them and make sure that they're doing okay and they're getting the psychiatric care that they are doing. Sally's hospital is really good about calling us when they believe there's someone that needs follow-up afterwards. A lot of the judges now are doing psychiatric specifications inside their bonds, bond specifications, where if they're being bonded. But one of the part of the things is our team needs to come out and visit with them and make sure that they're following their treatment plan. So I guess to answer that, before, during, and after. Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Tommy, thank you so much for that program. That was absolutely fascinating in a kind of a sad way, because I think we don't think about the number of people that suffer from mental health issues. And when you're listing that you came in contact with over 10,000 people, it kind of blew my mind when I thought of that. In honor of your coming to speak with us today, we're going to make a gift in your honor to the Rotary Foundation to conflict resolution in your honor, to thank you for being here. Looking ahead, it is very important that you attend next week's meeting, which is our annual meeting. My props. We will, at the annual meeting, we will hold election for 4 new directors of the club board and 1 new trustee for the foundation board. And you must be present to vote in the election, either virtually or in person, but preferably in person. A sample ballot was in the Rotary Grams, and there are copies on your table today, so you should be able to see those. Make a thoughtful decision, please, about the future leadership of our club. Remember also to volunteer to help with the Salvation Army Red Kettle Bell Ringing Project on December 11th. And remember to make a reservation for our great holiday party, where we will be drinking Grinch eggnog. And that's on Thursday, December 16th. And because that holiday party is happening on the Thursday, there will be no meeting on December the 15th, Wednesday. So next week is our last meeting for the year. And everybody remember, Wind Down with Rotary Committee is meeting at the back after the table. So if you will please, what am I saying here? Oh, I want to thank the guests for coming today and the Rotarians who brought them. Remember our theme for the year, everyone bring one. Those who recruit a new member to the club get to join the prestigious President's Club with all the privileges that that entails. So if you will please stand at this time and say the 4-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a great week, everybody. Go and serve to change lives.